But I do have a question. Some monastics were afraid to come to our peace, and there is a lot of fear now for immigrants in particular. There's mass incarceration. A man was shot and killed by ICE in Texas recently. And there is a lot of fear in the country now for immigrants and people, and for myself as well. And my question is, how can we deal with the fear? What is your advice for those of us who are afraid of a fascist regime? Thank you.
First of all, thank you for the to conduct the walk for peace in joining the walk for peace while we walk here in LA. And I heard that people show me that while we walk. And for the fear, I understand this situation. While we walk, that's still going on. While we walk, a lot of people are afraid to come out. And our venerable monks too, a lot of them are not U.S. citizens. And then when we walk, people always say, ICE will catch you and this and that. Will make you to go back to your country and things like that. But we as monks, we don't have anything to lose. So we're just gonna walk, and whatever comes, it will come. If that is our karma, we will face it. That is the monks, we learn and we practice that way. But of course, families have kids, have family members and everyone. Of course, everybody would be afraid of all that. But one thing that we have to admit, even though we are afraid, if that thing's gonna happen, it would happen. Instead of letting ourselves scared and try to hide, try to stay away from things, just live peacefully. Do the thing that you need to do. If it's your karma, if you don't have enough merit to stay, it would come anytime. You have to believe that anything happen, there is the reason behind. If we already created in the past, it will follow us. So instead of afraid it's still gonna come, we live peacefully and happily, it's still gonna come. If it's gonna happen to us, then why can't we choose to be happy and peacefully live day by day just like that, instead of scare and try to hide for all those things? Of course, saying it is easy, but doing it, pursuing it is difficult. I understand. I'm not in that situation, but I've seen a lot of sufferings. That is why I took on that journey to do the walk for peace. Because seeing people suffer, I took on that journey to raise the awareness of peace, love, and kindness and compassion to the people who will need. And guess what? During that walk, we met a lot of, I'm sorry to say, Hispanic. A lot come out and cry and talk about it. They also scared, they also afraid. But after seeing us walk, after listening to our sharing, it's okay. If it's come, it will come. Move on. Just continue doing what we need to do. If we think that this is our land, this is where we should stay, why we need to hide, why we need to be like that? Just continue doing what we need to do. Don't be afraid. If we be able to think that way, we would firstly have a peaceful day and peaceful family first. At least before they send us away, send us home, we at least done something for ourselves and our family. Why not? While we hiding and while we afraid and scared that way, we can't do anything. We cannot do anything because of that mindset. We cannot do anything. Instead of letting us go in that direction, who cares? Do the thing that we need to do. You've been doing it. Why not now? If it comes to me, it's my turn. It's okay. Just like we dying. Are we, when we afraid, when we scared, are we not gonna die? No. We still going to die anyway, regardless. The matter is, sooner or later, that's it. It will still come. Just like if they send us home, just like we are dying, that's it. So why not think in that way? So I encourage you, if you still feel that way, it's not that I want to push you to the danger. No, we have no intention that way. But we want everybody to have a peaceful day, peaceful life. That is what we need. At least before we die, we have done something for ourselves. Okay? Thank you. And if you practice loving kindness to yourself by doing every day, when you sit down, imagine of yourself in front of you. When you close your eye, put your face in front of you like this. Imagine your face, and then repeat this. Relax your whole face with a relaxed face, okay? May I be well. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. May I be free from all kind of suffering. Slowly doing that. Spread loving kindness to yourself every day. But please, don't do that because you're afraid or you're scared. Okay? Doing that because you love yourself. Keep doing that to yourself every day. Send metta, send loving kindness to yourself. That is how you overcome those kind of feelings. Thank you.
So, this is very last question. Real last question.
For the kid,
Yeah.
11-year-old.
Yeah, real last question. Real.
Venerable Panakara, my name is James. I'm 11 years old. I have a question. Is there any way to meditate like easy for kids?
It's not an easy question. An easy way. He make it so easy. Okay, for kids to meditate. If we tell our kids to go to a meditation center and sit down and breathe in and breathe out and close their eyes, they probably gonna last for 5 minutes. Okay, so different ages, we have different ways of meditation for different ages. For kids, for teenagers, we always encourage them to come and practice loving kindness first. Loving kindness, when you be able to love yourself and love the others, when you be able to read things with concentration, when you be able to stay focused within your ear with concentration, when you be able to write or draw a picture with concentration, that is meditation. Depend on the ages we could apply. Okay? As long as they stay focused, you don't need to ask them to sit down and breathing just like us. We don't need to. Start from a simple step. As long as you have everyone together, give them some simple game, but something that is knowledge, wisdom for them to work on. Then move on. Maybe take them 5 minutes to stay focused on within their breath or hold in your heart. Now, you say you're 11, right? Put your left hand over your heart. Do it. And then put your right hand over your heart. Your left hand. Put your right hand on over your left hand. Now close your eyes. Close your eye. Take a deep breath. Take another deep breath. Relax. Now, feel your heartbeat. Just feel those heartbeat. Okay, open your eyes. You feel it? You see your heart is beating? Yes? Okay, that's all you need to do. Okay? Stay focused within that heartbeat. Focus on it. You don't have to do this breathing now, but that is what you can do, and it applies to a lot of us here, regardless of age. Okay, thank you. May you all be well, happy, and peaceful.
Well, thank you so much for every question, everybody. And then before we move forward to another schedule, so before we have the Venerable give away his postcard to everybody, so we can announce, let Venerable talk about his project. We heard about he's going to have like a big project, right? Talk about his project a little bit. So people and everybody here like to make donation to support him. So please, sir.
It's really late now, and we still have a long way to receive the blessing. So I really don't want to talk about it, but I would share briefly to all of you because when you invited me here, you also wanted to listen to the project that I made a vow for, which you can find it online. I talk about it a lot. The project of building the Dhammacetiya project, which is on 14 acres of land. All the structure, 840 stupa made in stone, to preserve all the Tipitaka, which is the Buddha teachings. That is all about mindfulness, all about practicing to liberate, to end suffering in different languages, 10 different languages. And that is going to happen in Fort Worth, Texas, at our temple. And I dedicate my life to this project because I want to preserve it for the future generation. And the reason why I choose the high quality and very expensive material, which is stone, because I want it to last for 1,000 years for many, many future generations to come, so that they can also benefit the same way as we do. I benefited from practicing mindfulness. That is why I be able to share with during the waffle piece and all of you here. So I will love our future, that including me, because we're gonna still reborn until we end suffering. Then we go into reborn. I want myself to have a chance in the future to repeat it again. Maybe 1,000 years from now, I would do another walk, probably, and probably you're gonna join and listen to me again, hopefully. So we need something to learn. And that is how I want to preserve it for the future. And so 10 different scripture we do, and it's made in stone. 7 years making a vow silently, and it's almost 5 years now speaking out to the public, and hoping that next year I be able to start build the main stupa. This project cost about 200 million, and I started from nothing. Okay, and this project is not for me, it's not for our temple, but it's for all humankind, and it's for all who love peace, who love mindfulness, who practice in mindfulness to liberate. Then this project is for everyone. That is why I do a lot of things, and I made a vow, if within this lifetime, if I'm lack of merit, and I cannot finish this project, I wish that I can reborn again and again at the same place to continue that construction until I get it completed. That is my vow in front of 180 venerable monks on that land in Fort Worth, Texas. And now that every year during May Vesak season, we do the Tipitaka chanting from different countries, gathering together to recite all the Tipitaka within 9 days, and celebration Vesak at that land until we finish the project. And the reason for this trip to LA is because the Sayadaw, the one who memorized all the teachings of the Buddha, which is we call Tipitaka Sayadaw, Burmese, and the Burmese monks and community invited us here to receive the donation of the stupas. This time, the Burmese community donated 11 stupa, 10 stupa total, the small one. The small stupa size is about 13 feet by 13 feet by 27 feet tall. Weighs about 43 tons. That is stone from India. And the Burmese community in the United States has already offered 30 stupas already, small ones. And that is why we came to receive the offering, and also to come here to share the message of peace to all of you. So hoping that in this journey we will meet again and continue to practice until we end this kind of suffering to liberate. Thank you so much, everyone. Before I start, I would like to ask how many of you that follow the walk? Okay, almost everyone. Then the next question is, what did I teach? What did I talk during the walk? Today is our peaceful day. Who still remember that? Okay, a lot of us remember. Then now put your hands down. Who is still practicing and writing that down every day? And now less hands. Okay, thank you. Okay, before we start, let us try to pick that up again. Let us start with reciting that, saying that out loud to give us some energy, okay? So after I count to 3, we're gonna say, today is going to be our peaceful day. Out loud, yes?
Yes.
Okay, let's just try again because I've been doing that during the walk, but I haven't started again until yesterday, and now I want to hear it from you here. So 1, 2, and 3. I can't hear anything. Okay, let us say it again out loud, louder, okay? 1, 2, 3. Louder. This is not the energy that we want. Give us some more energy. One more time. 1, 2, and 3. There you go, there you go. That is the energy right there. Do you know why I want you to repeat this? Because that energy alone, that can already boost our mood up already, isn't it? Okay, so every day if we imagine, every day we keep doing that, then our life, our day will be changed completely. And if you haven't noticed that, this statement alone will lead us to practice mindfulness strongly, because every time we say it, every time we writing that down, it reminds us something that you had encountered and watching and following online or walk or meet with the monks during the walk. Is that the movement of the venerable monks who walk to raise awareness of peace, loving kindness, and compassion to the world? Isn't it? That will remind you that is the movement that you had experienced 5 months, 6 months, 7 months ago. And that also will help us to remind ourselves during the day that nothing is important than a peaceful day. Do you believe that nothing is more important than the peaceful day? Why? What makes me say that is because if we don't have a peaceful day, there's nothing that we can do. Even though we can do a lot of things, we can still make money, but we are not enjoy doing it because our mind is always filled with defilements and sufferings, sadness, anxious, anxiety, stress, depression, isn't it? So what is the purpose of us keep doing everything in life while we are suffering every single day like that? That is the reason why I want to raise that awareness to all the people who will meet. That is so important for us to have a peaceful day. Once our mind is pure and fresh and concentrated, we can do a lot of things. And all the things that we are doing, it will give the results even better. Let's say we want to memorize something. We try to read a book that many of us promise that you will finish that book for a very long time, and that book's still on the bookshelf. Probably years. Who did that? Please raise your hand. Okay, a lot of you. So when are we going to start reading that book? And I truly believe, who's in here already have my book? Okay, very few of you have my book. And I hope that my book is not going to be on that shelf forever. Okay? Because we need to read. If you promise anything to your life, you have to pursue it. You have to make it happen. And just why I mentioned that book is because that is very simple in life. A very simple thing that anybody can do. Anybody could do it. It's not hard, right? It's not heavy. It's not hard. All we need to do is just find a silent place, a desk, a chair, sit down, and then open the page and start reading it. But we can't even do that. Why? It is because we are too busy thinking of the future and the past. And we are too busy with all those cell phones right now. You see, we are way too busy doing all these things. That is why when we open the page, open the book read us. But we are not reading that book. Is that right? We are looking at those letters, and those letters staring at us, ask us, what are you doing? Why are you not reading me? It's because of all those distractions that we have. You have your cell phone, which I always say that is your lover, all the time with you. And you are not focusing on the thing that is important to you. Reading a book is important because you could learn a lot of things from it. But the first thing you would learn is to be patient, to stay put and focus, concentration, isn't it? Without patience, without concentration, focusing, we cannot read that book. It is because whenever you open the page, the phone will ting, 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 and then you look at the phone. Now, no more books. You started to tap on that phone, and then someone call you. Now you pick up the phone and talk with your friends or your lover, and then you totally forgot about that book. Now, after an hour of talking over the phone, you come back to that desk, pick up the book, put it back to the shelf. That is so normal to all of us, and to the student, to the younger generation also as well. They are start doing that and going that path, going to that path. Why? Because we as a role model, parents, brother and sister, we taught them that way. Isn't it? We taught them because they are looking up to us and they copy exactly what we're doing. Then we can't teach them. And for that reason, they suffer more and more and more, and their mind is so weak. They can't even stand. They can't even bear the feelings of somebody shout at them or saying something bad about them. And then what happened? Suicidal, or because of anger, they started to hurt the others. We have seen this story over the news everywhere, a lot, just because of anger. They cannot control their feelings. They start to shoot the other people. You see, it's because we are living in the world where we always head out and chasing for things. We are barely having a moment to come back within to see our breath. You can't even feel your heartbeat. Wow, that heart is beating every second for us to stay alive. So the question is, when are we going to come back within to see that heart is beating? When are we coming back to see our breath is going in and out? Are we going to spend the rest of our life chasing the outside world? Which we have been doing that, and we continue doing that. While we're doing that, and we expect everything to be settled, everything to be nice and calm and everything, and then once this world is in chaos, we also jump into it and drown in it. Because of expectation, we expect the other people to do the work. We expect the government to do the work. We expect our kids to do the work. We expect our partners to do the work, but we are not doing it. We always want I, which is self. I want this, I want that, I don't want this, I don't want that. We always have that way of thinking and thoughts. But we have never asked, does that person like what I want, what I do? Would he okay with it? Would they be okay with it? We didn't ask that way. Instead, we always ask for ourselves. I want this, I want that, I don't want this, I don't want that, I hate this. That is going on every day. So if we want to have a peaceful day, peaceful life, is always have to be tangled together, both people, both person, both side, and the whole family have to have the voice together voice. Can speak with each other, can listen to each other, and think about the other. For most of the time, when we have something that is beautiful, that is nice, that is good, most of the time we think about ourselves, but we are not thinking about our parents. Because I've seen a lot of parents here, seniors.
In the quiet spaces of our modern lives, beneath the hum of rushing traffic, the endless pinging of digital notifications, and the relentless cycle of breaking news, there lives a profound and universal yearning. It is a quiet ache for stillness, a deep desire to exhale fully, and a longing to feel anchored in a world that so often feels as though it is spinning out of control. We find ourselves navigating an era defined by its complexities and its rapid pace. A time when the sheer volume of information and responsibility can leave us feeling untethered. Yet, amidst this turbulence, there is a gentle, steady invitation that calls to us, offering a path that does not require us to run faster or fight harder, but rather to slow down, breathe deeply, and walk with intention. This is the path of inner peace, a journey that begins not in some distant, idyllic future, but right here, in the messy, beautiful reality of our present moment. It is an invitation to gather our scattered attention, to reflect on the true nature of our lives, and to discover how the deliberate cultivation of compassion and loving kindness can weave a profound sense of harmony into the very fabric of our daily existence. When we look closely at the landscape of our society, it is impossible to ignore the heavy clouds of fear that drift across it. There is a palpable anxiety that grips so many hearts, fear of systemic changes, fear for the safety of vulnerable communities, fear of displacement, and a pervasive dread of what an unpredictable future might hold. These are not imagined terrors. They are the lived realities and deep-seated worries of people who are simply trying to care for their families and build a life of dignity. It is entirely human to feel the weight of these uncertainties, to feel a sudden tightening in the chest when the world feels unsafe. We watch the news, we hear the stories of mass incarcerations and sudden violence, and an instinctive urge to hide, to build walls, or to retreat into a shell of self-preservation takes over. Yet, There is a profound, almost radical wisdom in confronting this fear not with hardened armor, but with the quiet courage of a peaceful heart. Consider the perspective of those who have dedicated their lives to walking a spiritual path. Individuals who step out into the world with nothing to lose and everything to give. They walk through cities and across landscapes, fully exposed to the elements and the unpredictability of human nature, carrying nothing but their robes and their profound commitment to non-violence. When faced with the very real threats that make others cower, their response is born of a deep understanding of cause and effect, of karma, and of the fundamental impermanence of all things. If a hardship is destined to arrive, it will arrive, regardless of how tightly we clench our fists or how deeply we hide in the shadows. If we allow fear to dictate our days, we surrender our lives long before any actual threat reaches our doorstep. We become prisoners of our own anxious minds, unable to enjoy the warmth of the sun, the laughter of our children, or the simple comfort of a shared meal. The most revolutionary act we can commit in a world that profits from our panic is to choose, deliberately and consciously, to live peacefully and happily day by day. If the storms are going to come, why should we let the anticipation of the rain steal the beauty of today's sunlight? We have the power to decide that right now. In this very moment, we are safe. We can do the work we need to do, care for the people we love, and stand tall in our truth, refusing to let the specter of tomorrow diminish the vitality of today. To live with this kind of open-hearted bravery requires profound practice. It is easy to speak of peace, but cultivating it when the mind is racing is the work of a lifetime. The foundation of this resilience is not found in blocking out the world, but in turning a boundless, nurturing love inward. We cannot pour peace into our communities if our own inner reservoirs are dry. Imagine, for a moment, finding a quiet space to sit down. Close your eyes and gently bring an image of your own face into your mind. See yourself not through the harsh, critical lens we so often use, but with the tender gaze of a beloved friend. Visualize your face softening, the lines of worry smoothing out, the tension melting from your jaw and your shoulders. In this space of inner quiet, offer yourself the most fundamental blessings. May I be well. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. May I be free from all kinds of suffering. This practice of loving kindness, of sending metta to oneself, is not a selfish act. It is the ultimate act of self-preservation and spiritual nourishment. It is vital, however, that we do not engage in this practice out of a desperate attempt to ward off fear, using it as a shield against the things that scare us. We must do it simply because we love ourselves. We must do it to cultivate a genuine, unconditional friendliness toward our own being. When we wrap ourselves in this kind of gentle acceptance daily, the grip of fear naturally loosens. We stop fighting our own feelings and begin to rest in a profound, unwavering inner sanctuary that no external force can dismantle. As we nurture this peace within ourselves, a natural desire arises to pass it on to the next generation. We look at our children, growing up in a world that is louder and more demanding than ever before, and we desperately want to equip them with the tools to navigate it all with grace. But how do we teach the profound depths of mindfulness to a child, or even a restless 11-year-old whose energy is boundless? The answer lies not in rigid discipline or forcing them to sit in silent frustration. If we ask a child to sit perfectly still, close their eyes, and simply watch their breath, we will likely lose their attention within 5 minutes. True mindfulness is not confined to the meditation cushion. It is the art of profound presence. For the young, and truly for the young at heart, mindfulness begins with concentration and joy. It is found in the simple act of focusing completely on whatever is in front of them. When a teenager is completely absorbed in drawing a picture, when a child is fully engaged in a game of knowledge, when they are listening with their whole being, that is meditation. And when we wish to ground them in their own physical presence, we can offer them the most beautiful, accessible anchor of all. We can ask them to place their left hand gently over their heart, and their right hand over the left. We can ask them to close their eyes, take a deep, slow breath, and simply feel. In that quiet darkness, beneath the warmth of their own hands, they will feel it, the steady, miraculous rhythm of their own heartbeat. Thump, 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 thump. It is a profound realization for a child. and a deeply grounding reminder for an adult. That beating heart is the purest expression of life, working tirelessly, second by second, to keep us alive. All they need to do, is stay focused on that rhythm. We do not need complicated philosophies, we just need to return to the fundamental truth of our own existence. When a child learns to tune into the rhythm of their own heart, they learn that they carry a safe, quiet refuge within themselves wherever they go. This dedication to preserving the purity of the present moment for the youth naturally expands into a broader contemplation of the legacy we are leaving behind. When we step back from the immediate rush of our daily lives, we must ask ourselves what we are building for the future. Consider the profound dedication required to conceptualize a project meant to last for thousands of years. Imagine the visionary patience needed to construct massive stupas out of solid stone, carving the timeless teachings of mindfulness and liberation into materials chosen specifically because they will endure the test of time, weathering millennia so that future generations might find guidance and solace. To dedicate one's life, and to make a silent vow that extends even beyond a single lifetime, ensuring that the wisdom of ending suffering is preserved for humanity, is the ultimate expression of love. While we may not all be building monuments of stone, we are all architects of our own legacies. Every choice we make, every word we speak, every moment of patience we practice is a stone laid in the foundation of the world we leave behind. Are we building structures of anxiety, reactivity, and division? Or are we dedicating our energy to constructing monuments of peace, compassion, and understanding within our families and communities? When we recognize that we are part of an endless continuum, that our actions today ripple out into the lives of those we will never meet, our commitment to mindfulness takes on a sacred urgency. We practice not just for our own temporary relief, but to elevate the collective consciousness of humanity. The construction of such a magnificent, enduring life begins with the architecture of a single day. The energy we bring to our mornings sets the trajectory for everything that follows. It is a transformative practice to start the day not by passively letting the world rush in, but by actively claiming our intention. Imagine the profound shift in atmosphere when a group of people, standing together, raises their voices to declare, "Today is going to be our peaceful day." The first time we say it, our voices might be hesitant, muffled by our lingering doubts and the heavy blanket of routine. But when we say it again, louder, drawing the breath from deep within our bellies, the energy in the room, and in our own bodies, shifts completely. This simple, vocalized commitment is incredibly powerful. The sheer energy of making that statement out loud is enough to instantly elevate our mood. It serves as a sharp, clear bell of mindfulness, cutting through the fog of our morning grogginess. When we write it down, when we speak it, we are actively reminding ourselves of our deepest values. We remember the inspiring image of those who walk for peace, putting one foot in front of the other with steadfast devotion. We remind ourselves that nothing, absolutely nothing, is more important than cultivating a peaceful day. Because without a foundation of peace, all our other achievements lose their flavor. We can acquire wealth, we can accumulate accolades, but if our minds are perpetually clouded with stress, depression, and endless defilements, we cannot truly enjoy any of it. What is the purpose of striving so relentlessly if we are only building a life of beautifully decorated suffering? Yet, claiming this peace is an uphill battle in a world designed to distract us. We set our intentions, we crave stillness, but our attention is constantly being hijacked. We all know the quiet guilt of the unread book. It sits on the shelf, a silent promise we made to ourselves to slow down, to learn, to engage deeply with something meaningful. Days turn into months, and the book remains untouched. When we finally muster the resolve to sit at a desk, open the pages, and begin, we are immediately tested. The phone beside us chimes. It is the demanding, ever-present companion of our modern age. Instantly, our eyes dart away from the page. We answer a message, we take a call, we scroll through a feed, and an hour vanishes. When we finally look back at the book, we realize a profound truth. We are not reading the book is reading us. The words on the page seem to stare back, quietly asking why we cannot simply be present. We have lost the capacity for deep concentration, the patience required to sit with one thing at a time. This erosion of focus is not just a barrier to reading, it is a barrier to truly living. We are teaching ourselves, and tragically, we are teaching our children, to constantly seek the next stimulus, to look outward for fulfillment. As a result, our minds become fragile. When we cannot sit quietly with a book, we certainly cannot sit quietly with our own difficult emotions. When someone speaks harshly to us, or when life does not go our way, we lack the internal fortitude to process the experience. This weakness of mind, born of constant distraction, is the root of so much of the anger, the severe depression, and the tragic violence we see on the news every day. People lash out because they cannot bear the weight of their own unprocessed feelings. We are living in a society that is always heading outward, endlessly chasing the horizon, but rarely taking a moment to turn back inward. We forget to witness our own breath going in and out. We forget to feel the miraculous beating of our own hearts. We must ask ourselves, are we going to spend the rest of our brief, precious lives chasing a chaotic outside world, only to drown in it when things inevitably fall apart? This tendency to look outward is intrinsically tied to our deep-seated self-centeredness. We look at the world and we constantly generate a running narrative of expectations. I want this to happen. I don't want that to happen. We expect the government to fix our problems. We expect our partners to understand us perfectly. We expect our children to behave flawlessly. We want everyone else to do the heavy lifting of creating a harmonious world, while we sit back, tangled in our own demands. The ego, the persistent I, is a tyrant that constantly evaluates the world based solely on its own comfort. But true peace, the kind that permeates a home and heals a community, cannot be built on the demands of the ego. It requires a fundamental shift from I to we. It requires us to pause and ask not just what we want, but what the other person needs. Does my partner feel supported? Do my parents feel cherished? Are my children feeling heard? We spend so much energy fixated on our own desires that we neglect the tender, vital connections that actually sustain us. Peace is not a solitary achievement, it is a shared reality. It requires voices that can speak to each other with kindness, and ears that can listen without instantly formulating a defense. When we soften our rigid demands and begin to hold space for the perspectives and needs of others, the suffocating grip of expectation releases. We stop fighting the people we love, and we start walking alongside them. In the end, this profound journey of mindfulness, this internal walk for peace, is not about escaping the world, it is about stepping into it with a radically transformed heart. It is about recognizing that while the storms of life will inevitably come, we possess an incredible, innate capacity to stand grounded in the center of them. It requires the courage to stop hiding from our fears, the gentleness to love ourselves unconditionally, and the discipline to reclaim our attention from a world that constantly seeks to scatter it. It asks us to put down our phones, pick up the books that nourish our souls, and look deeply into the eyes of the people we love. Every breath we take is an opportunity to begin again. Every heartbeat is a reminder that we are alive, right here, right now, and that this moment is entirely ours to shape. We do not have to wait for the world to calm down before we choose to be peaceful. We can make the quiet, revolutionary vow today, and every day, that we will be the source of the tranquility we seek. May we all have the courage to place a hand over our hearts, feel the profound rhythm of our own existence, and step forward into the world with boundless compassion, deep presence, and a joy that no external circumstance can ever take away.